Hello everybody, my name is David. Thank you for watching Crazy Narcissist Ex-Girlfriend. Today's video is another C-PTSD video. I made a playlist and I've been doing several videos about this. So I'll add this one too, and please watch the others. Resiliency, very important. What made us resilient? What doesn't make us resilient? Most of us had zero support in our lives. If we dated disordered people, there's no way we had a good support system. It just can't be. There's no way anyone's going to support you to do that. So they're going to be against it. And if you had a good support system, you don't just throw it all away for disordered people. We might believe that we had a good support system before we come out of this relationship. We find out that the people in our lives tend to be not who we thought they are, right? That's why we keep thinking everyone's a narcissist, right? Or hypervigilant and things like this. We think that we had friends and our life was great and this relationship happened and bam, none of my friends understand me, they aren't there for me, blah, blah, blah. They just aren't supportive, trust me. You can't have a good, strong support system and date toxic, disordered people that abuse you and stay in those relationships. It's impossible. We grew up kind of thinking alone, usually. We usually think that, our feelings and our problems and our issues, we kind of keep them inside. We try to fix them ourselves, and we kind of tend to other people's thoughts and feelings and how do they feel, our parents and stuff like that. We ignore our own. And really, it's about everyone else being happy around us, isn't it? To make us happy. I've talked about the brain before, and the brain has evolved to keep us alive. Evolution only cares about staying alive and procreating. Happiness is up to us. So, our brain does what it can to keep us alive. And what it does is it gives us fear. Basically fear keeps us alive. Watch out for this, watch out for that. This might happen. This could happen. It's keeping us always on alert and watching out for things. But if we have a good, strong, positive, healthy support system growing up, we don't tend to think about those or give too much thought or attention to those negative feelings. Even though fear keeps us alive, it's not happy. It's not, we don't need to always be on high alert all the time. And if we trust ourselves and we trust our judgment and our choices, then we should be comfortable, more comfortable in our lives. So we have negative thoughts all the time telling us to be careful of these. Everyone has them. But if you are unhealthy and you are in a toxic relationship, things like this, these things are louder. They're just always there and we always give thought to them and we're always like, oh my God, this. If we have a healthy, supportive life, we ignore these things like healthy people do. They don't really pay attention too much to these negative thoughts because they're comfortable. Their brains are relaxed. If we tend to listen to these things, it becomes our inner critic. It's just always telling us not only is things bad are going to happen, but we're bad. And things about us are ugly and gross and stupid and not good enough. And, we become our inner critic. Think about toxic people that criticize you in a relationship all the time. Think about, we've all been through smear campaigns. Think about a smear campaign by a toxic person. What are they doing? They are trying to knock you down little by little by little every day. So what do? You don't pay attention to a smear campaign. You don't listen to it. You ignore it. You don't react to it. You don't sit there and defend yourself to everyone. You just let this, disordered person sit there and talk and criticize you. But you try to separate yourself from it so you don't have to sit there and listen to it all the time, right? So that's what you would do to yourself. If you were criticizing you all the time, you aren't going to listen to it. Okay? But it's just harder when it comes from us, isn't it? And that's how we feel about ourselves. I know it is. It's like not to listen, not to react to everything. Be resilient. Okay? We are the leading authority on who we are and how we feel. It's our decision. Don't leave it up to other people. Tragedies, failed abusive relationships, things like this, They can be who you are if you allow them, because a lot of people react to trauma and tragedy by they stay frozen. And I don't mean that initial reaction, that fight, flight, or freeze. I'm talking about a traumatic tragedy. You know, some people stay frozen in that forever. And you can. That is up to you. But some people become the person that they were meant to be. You got to think of it. You were meant to be. You were on a path and you're meant to be a certain person. And then a tragedy comes along and happens. What are you going to do? Are you going to stop at that tragedy? Or are you going to keep going and become the person you were supposed to be? Okay, because that tragedy can help you be a better person. Or that tragedy can keep you knocked down forever and be a victim forever. Resiliency. That's up to you. Trauma in your lives should equal change. It should mean that there must be change. Okay? Resiliency is that. The ability to change. Okay? The ability to take a tragedy, a trauma, and turn it into something great. To keep going and be the person you are supposed to be and not let it knock you down. You know, something very common, you know, if you are resilient, a resilient person to these things, there is, you know, even if we had bad childhoods, if we had abusive children, abusive parents, even if one parent was abusive and the other person wasn't there, if we at least have that one person in our lives, I don't care if it's a grandparent, I don't care if it's an aunt or an uncle or a cousin or somebody in your life during that childhood where you may not have received the love and attention and the guidance and the help and the hope that you needed. If there was one person in your life that was there for you, that made you resilient. That is what helped you be resilient. Think about if there was one person in your life growing up. Because a lot of disordered people, okay, I think most, and we're talking about cluster B, I think, you know, borderline's narcissist. I think that what I've found out is a lot of them have a single parent. And the rest of the family's messed up. And that single abusive parent didn't allow them to have friends. And there was no one in their life to help them be somewhat resilient. If you guys have that one person in your life that helped you, that loved you, maybe they just had hope, maybe they just saw eye to eye with you, connected with you, that helped you be resilient. Okay, guys? Someone believing in you helped you. So now, believe in yourself. Okay? Believe in yourself, and it'll help you be resilient forever, okay? All right? Just something I wanted to share. So I hope that helps somewhat to help you be more resilient. Willing to change. Willing to see the problem. Willing to hold what's yours. Willing to take a tragedy and traumatic, negative, bad situation and turn it into something good. Keep going. Keep being the great person you were supposed to be, that you're meant to be. The great person you are. Don't let this knock you down. Don't. Okay? Do what you're supposed to do and keep living your life. Okay? Please, guys. Okay? Any questions you guys have, go down below and ask me. Please. Always open to questions. I answer everyone. And more than anything, love yourself first, okay, everyone? Thank you very much, and we'll see you again. Take care. Bye-bye. Danny Dog Productions.